again. Welcome to the new week, 3rd to 7th of March 2025. As always, I'm Atomashi Dania, Vestralis Global Market Analyst. Wherever it is you're joining us from, welcome. Karibu. If you're from South Africa, Salbona, whatever it is. Okay. Happy Ramadan to our Muslim brothers and sisters. How do you say it? Ramadan Mubarak or Ramadan Kareem. Have a good one. I wish you a great fast and I wish your blessings come to light. Amen. Now let's get right onto it. So let's see what the market has in store for us this week. Of course, as always, fundamental analysis is what we're going to be starting with. Now, the first pair we're going to be looking at is the Euro USD. So, as always, this week on Monday, today, we expect the US ISM manufacturing PMI. Okay. And after that, the ADP non-employment, non-farm employment change, and the ISM manufacturing PMI on Wednesday. Now, there's something else to talk about the EU here, the Euro and the US. We understand that Donald Trump has sort of forced a peace treaty between Russia and Ukraine. Okay, but the UK has also stepped in, okay, to sponsor the Ukrainian war. The EU is also supporting Zelensky, the president of Ukraine. So if we see an escalation of that war, it could influence the Euro USD. Okay, especially with the US dollar serving as a safe haven in this case. Okay, and of course, Trump as he is, in an aim to punish Europe or the UK, it may eventually come up with tariffs or sanction, execute or implement tariffs against the UK or against the EU. If he does that, definitely we expect some major shifts, major influences on the euro and on the pound. Okay, so for the euro, US ISM manufacturing, the ADP non-farm employment change on Wednesday, the EU main refinancing rate, and the ECB press conference. This is the main event for this week because we expect the EU to cut rates further. Okay, look out for that. We're also looking at the US average hourly earnings, okay, and the non-farm employment change on Friday. So also the and finally, in the course of the week for the Euro, the US to speak in University of Chicago on Friday. These events will influence the markets. Now, of course, as he speaks, if his comments are dovish, expect weakness on the US dollar. If it's hawkish, then expect strength of the US dollar. This is what to look out for. Let's get right on into the charts. Let's get right on into the charts. There you go. What do we see on the Euro USD? Good. On the weekly chart, we see that price, if I zoom in here, is currently way above this support level here, significant support level. We broke past it, went back up, okay? It's currently above it, all right? Nothing so significant on the weekly chart, but on the daily chart, however, it looks as though price is moving within a descending channel. Okay, with price having touched the resistance border, looking as though it's going to attack the support border, or perhaps maybe even halfway point the channel. Okay, if it does that, then it's most likely perhaps um, either going to break past it. If it breaks past it, then it most likely will head here. Of course, in the course of the week, we don't expect it to go as far as the lower border of the channel. Okay, but it may as well go as far as halfway between the resistance and support border of the channel. Okay, if the bearish signals are strong, that is, if the bearish signals are strong. Now, on the 4-hour chart, however, what do we see? Look, we see price break very nicely away from this triangle right here. Okay, yes. So we see price break very nicely away from the triangle, but before then, let's look at this. Okay, let's delete this. Good. It's look moving as though it's moving within a range. Okay, a rising range guided by this green line, ascending trend line right there. Now, price broke away from that last week, Thursday, Friday-ish. Okay, and this is where it is right now. Okay, this is where it is right now. Now, why is this important? Good. If we take a look at the 4-hour chart, daily chart rather, we'll see that price is showing a somewhat bullish change of character. Okay. Now, this key support level here, price is currently close to this key support level. Okay. And we see an order block, common point right here. This pink line corresponds to the order block. You see swing low here, significant swing low here, significant swing low here, close above it here, swing low here. So now if price strongly breaks below this, there's a good chance it will touch 1.0340. Now if it breaks strongly below 0340, okay, then the most likely level below that could be 1.0290, the psychological level of 1.0300. Now, if it breaks past that convincingly, then the next most likely level could touch 1.0230. Okay, and if we're trying to be conservative, we could as well touch this common swing low right here, 1.0259. Okay, now if it breaks past 0230, the next most likely target could be 1.0184. Okay, or 1.0200. Okay, now that's for the Euro USD. Now, more significantly, on the 1 hour chart, there's something else that's quite visible here. We see a gap. Okay, weekend gap. Price from this weekend gap right here, and it's currently looking to close it. All right, it's gone past the first support point here, 1.0404. There's a good chance it wants to close the gap. Hence, the next most likely target could be 1.0382 in the closure of the gap, complete closure. Okay, look out for that. Now, on the flip side, if price breaks above the key resistance level of 1.0500, okay, or before then, if it breaks past 0446, there's a good chance it could play around intraday or scalping positions between 0458, 0473, or 0485. But the key and the strongest resistance level for me here will be 0500. If it happens to go past that, then we most likely will be looking at resistance levels 1.0532, 0576, 0621, or 0668. Okay, so my outlook, my conclusion on this guy is majorly, I'm not bullish. I'm majorly bullish on this guy, provided key resistance levels are broken. But I'm open to support levels because of the fact that we see price moving as though it's in a channel right here. So I don't rule out the possibilities of it actually touching and hitting lower support levels right here. So I'm in between, generally speaking. But if I see a clear break of 0500, then I'm going strongly bullish. That's my conclusion on the Euro USD. Now, next, we're looking at um, the GBP USD. What do we have? So the fundamentals on GBP USD are about the same as that for the Euro USD. Um, Whatever will affect the Euro USD in this today, in this week, will most likely affect the GBP USD, such as the US ISM manufacturing PMI Monday. Today, we expect it. On Wednesday, US ADP non-farm employment change and ISM manufacturing PMI. The EU main refinancing rate and ECB press conference. You might wonder why will the ECB press conference affect the pound. Of course, Britain has left the EU, but we still have some uh, sectors or, like, or companies tied to the UK, or in the UK tied to the EU. Okay, so it may actually influence it. Whatever decisions was made on the EU may influence the pound either strongly or um, mildly. My money is on mildly. It tends to affect it mildly. Okay, for example, if the Euro USD moves 60 pips on the news, the pound USD may actually move in the same direction by 10 pips or 15 pips. Okay. Now, US average hourly earnings, okay, and on Friday, and unemployment rates, and also the US Fed Chair Powell speaking in University of Chicago on Friday. Okay, this should influence the GBP USD. For the charts, what do we have? For the charts, what do we have? Nothing spectacular much. The pound is looking good, looking to move within a very nice range. Okay, it seems to be moving within a channel. Okay. On the weekly chart, we see that it's actually currently playing around the 100-day moving average. Okay, it has touched it and is currently reacting to it. So most likely maybe trying to bring cause a brief reversal down, brief pullback down based on the weekly chart analysis. On the 4-hour chart, however, we see price moving along a nice ascending channel right here. Very nice ascending channel. Very clearly depicted here. Very cyclical. Okay. Now, a clear break of that channel, the support border of that channel, could see price touch. Yeah, could see price touch 2576 on the closure of the gap, which I'm going to show you in a bit. Now, if it further breaks below 1.2576, there's a good chance the next most likely target will be 2549. If it goes below that, 2515, then below that, 1.2485. Also below that, 2414. Now, if price happens to break above 1.2610 on the flip side, okay, there's a good chance it could touch 2631, 2649, 1 point above that 2675 or 1.2700 psychological level, and above that 1.2714. If it happens to go beyond that, it could retouch the resistance border of the channel at 1.2752, ladies and gentlemen. Now, in the short term, price has closed the weekend gap that formed. Okay, the green rectangle you can see there, the weekend gap, it has closed that. The closure of the weekend gap is complete. Any positions on entry of this pair right now based on the gap is null and void at this particular moment in time. Okay. So the key thing to look out for the GBP USD is the channel. Now, am I bullish or bearish? Um, the outlook on this guy is still quite bullish. However, because of the fact that it's currently moving along an ascending channel and forming some mild correlations with the Euro USD, there's also a good chance that it could break below the support border of the channel and hit support levels. So I'm not bullish, neither am I bearish. My entry is based on the breakage of the ascending channel on the 4-hour chart. So that's that for the GBP USD. I'm neutral. I'm looking out for both bullish signals and bearish signals on the GBP USD. Now, in the general sense of things, if Kai Starmer goes into a trade war again, with the US because of retaliatory actions by Trump, or because the UK has decided to support full-time Ukraine. Okay, if they have trade wars between US and Europe or US and the pound, which Donald Trump is very likely to do, tariff wars, then we could see some significant impacts back to back, going nicely bullish, strongly bullish, or strongly bearish. So look out for that for the GBP USD. Now, let's go over to the next. The USD JPY and the GBP JPY. What do we have on these guys? Um, so we expect the news um, to influence this pair quite significantly this week. Okay, because the USD JPY is sort of confused in a way because it has hit massive lows and still currently forming bullish change of character right now. But we're going to see that in the chart in a bit. But for the news side, the US ISM manufacturing PMI, of course, is expected to influence it today. Governor Ueda speaks on Tuesday. Why is this important? The yen pairs have been known to move at hawkish or dovish strongly from hawkish or dovish comments from the governor of the Tokyo Bank of Japan. Okay, he's due to speak in an event organized by the IMF, International Monetary Fund, in Tokyo. Of course, he might want to say something very significant that could influence the yen. If it's hawkish, expect the strength of the yen. If it's dovish, expect the weakness of the yen. Okay, this pertains to the USD JPY and the GBP JPY. So the US ADP non-farm employment chain is also expected to influence the pay, US ISM manufacturing and manufacturing PMI, EU minimum financing rate, okay, and ECB press conference, of course, due to correlations from the GBP USD. This is especially pertaining to the GBP JPY. Look out for that. In the US unemployment claims on Thursday, the US average hourly earnings and non-farm employment change, unemployment rate on Friday, and finally, the speech of Fed Chair Powell, University of Chicago, on Friday is expected to influence these two. Again, you might wonder why GBP JPY because of possible correlations from the GBP USD. So look out for that. Now let's go into the chart. Um, what do we have? We have on the USD JPY, some very nice opportunities to look at. As always, we know that it's currently at a key support level. We know on the weekly chart it forms the heads and shoulders pattern. Okay, head, left shoulder, right shoulder. Price broke beyond that, broke past the first support level and touched the second support level, which coincides with the 100-day moving average, which is this blue line traveling all the way from here, the 100-day moving average. Price reacted to that, which also corresponds to this previous significant swing low right here. So we're at an impasse in the USD JPY. It's not broken past any key range yet. Okay, it may do so this week. We don't know. Now, also on the weekly chart, we see price moving nicely along two channels. We have an inner channel within a bigger channel. So we see the pink line there represents um, the smaller channel within the larger channel. That's the red lines. Okay, it has broken past the support border of the inner channel. There's a good chance that the next most likely target is the support border of the larger channel. Now, if it goes back into the range of the smaller channel, then we could see price attack the resistance border of the smaller channel, or perhaps halfway point if we're trying to be conservative. Okay, on the daily chart, of course, last week and the week before that, we saw the flag pattern here. Price broke below the support border of the flag pattern and had nice bearish moves. We captured that on a Telegram channel. Good take profits. Price hit a snag when it touched the support border, previous significant swing low right here. It's currently there and reacting to that. So our entry point will be centered around the following. Now, look, yes. So first off, price right now is formed. Um, if we to zoom in on that, the heads and shoulders pattern, head, left shoulder, right shoulder on the 15 minutes chart. Okay, it has broken past the neck early hours of this morning, and it has touched the first support level of 1.150.09. Price breaks past that convincingly, it could touch the psychological level of 150.00. If it breaks past the psychological level, the next most likely target could be 149.85. And if it goes strongly below that, the next most likely target will be 149.58. Okay. On the flip side, however, if price heads back into the range and breaks above the shoulders, 150.65, the next most likely target could be 150.95. Okay. Now, in the general sense of things, price has been moving within a descending channel on the 4-hour chart, which is very visible right here. Okay. So we've already talked about how it could touch 149.85, 149.58 based on the heads and shoulders. If it breaks below 149.58, the next most likely target could be 149.36, being another block level. Take note of that. And if it goes strongly below that, the next most likely target could be 148.97 or psychological level of 149.00. Below that, we could see 148.71 or 148.50, which could coincide with the support border of the descending channel. Now, on the flip side, if it breaks beyond 150.95, we could see price touch 151.33, 151.55, 51.79, or the psychological level of 152.00, and above that 152.28. Take note of that. Now, again, as always, because of how bearish it's been the past couple of days and weeks, I'm strongly bearish on the USD JPY. Okay, I favor bearish positions. Now, I favor bullish positions if I see break of key resistance levels. So that's that for the USD JPY. Now, for the GBP JPY, also we see price move very strongly across an ascending channel very nicely. It's currently at the support border right now, confused as to what to do, if it's going to break it or not. Okay. JB JPY, same thing, flag pattern, just like the USD JPY. We see very strong correlations with the USD JPY. Okay, broke past that, traded that on the Telegram channel, captured 33 take profits. Um, Good job to us. Went back to retest. Okay, came back down again, and now it's looking as though it's going to continue a strong bearish move. Well, let's look at the 4-hour chart and see what we're missing, what we might be missing. Good. We see price also moving along a descending channel, just like the USD JPY. All right. Um, right now, it's at the resistance border of that channel, and it's moving within a range. What range? Look, in an ascending channel right here, within a range, moving in an ascending channel. So a key break of the support border of the ascending channel could see price or price level 188.85, could see price touch 188.31. Okay, if it breaks above the resistance border or price level 190.28, could see price touch 190.80. All right, now in the general sense of things, if price happens to break past 188.31, which we've talked about using the ascending channel, the next most likely target could be 187.98, below that 187.71, below that 187.27. Take note of that. And if it happens to go below that, we could see price hit the psychological level of 187.00. Okay, if it wants to be adventurous. It's the GBP yen, ladies and gentlemen. Do not rule out any possibility in this case because it's a very volatile pair. Now, on the flip side, if price breaks past key resistance level, which corresponds to an order block, you see nice significant swing low here. See price reacting to the same level around here, also here and here. Okay, if it breaks past uh, very strongly past the resistance border of 190.26, it could touch 190.80. If it goes way above that, 191.36, also above that 192.10, okay, 192.46 or 192.98. Okay. Now, is it going to go as high as 193.46? If the tariff war starts between the US and Europe or the UK, it's very possible. It's the Trump era. Volatility is very high. Volatilities tend to happen in this era. So yes, it's also could also possibly touch 194.00. Okay, never rule out any possibility in this case. All right, that's for the GBP JPY. My outlook on this guy is bearish. I'm strongly bearish on this guy because of correlations on the USD JPY. Um, uh, Good outlook from Japan in the coming weeks or days. Okay, and I suspect that USD is going to see something very hawkish that will boost the yen. I favor bearish positions on this guy. Okay, but I'll trade bullish positions if I see a break of key resistance levels. That's that for our weekly outlook today. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. On a final note, I'd like to share with you that we have a financial conference coming up. In Abuja, wherever it is you are. Okay, just come to Abuja. Come and have some fun with us. Come listen to us. Come learn how to establish or obtain financial freedom wherever it is, whatever it is you do. If you're a skilled professional, a barber, mechanic, a doctor, a pensioner or approaching pension age, a student, or you're a career chap or lady, you just want financial freedom, come join us in our financial conference slated for the 8th of March in Abuja, Novari Mall, will say Zone 5. All right, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. See you again next week for our weekly outlook. As always, I'm Atomashi Daniel, Invest Stratus Global Market Analyst. Um, Remember, the trend is your friend and trade within the trend. Bye bye.